for another project today, and this is a layout that I used just this past weekend during Stamp Together Saturday. If you're not familiar with Stamp Together Saturday, every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. Central, I get on Facebook Live and we do a card together. So earlier in the week, I shared the dimensions of what everybody needs to have cut and ready to go. And then we make it together on Saturday mornings. We have had 110 episodes already, and it has been so much fun to connect with other people, stampers all over the country and even into Canada. I love it. And so if you haven't joined me for a Stamp Together Saturday before, this is your invitation. Come and watch on Facebook Live at 9:30 a.m. Central on Saturday mornings. So let's get to this project, which is another version of what I made this past Saturday. You are looking at the He's the Man Suite Collection, which is found on pages 78 and 79 in the 22-23 annual catalog. And I love, it's my favorite suite in the new catalog, and I'm so excited to share it with you today because I just have this really strong desire to make lots of cards with this suite. It may be weird, but it's true. The He's All That stamp set is the star of the whole show, and it coordinates with the All That dies. One thing I love about the dies is that it gives you a couple of the Argyle, and then it gives you a couple of the banners here as well, so that if you want to make more than one, it's a lot faster to cut those out. So I love this bundle, but I said the stamp set is the star of the show, and now I feel like I got to take that back because the paper is amazing as well. So I am just going to show you pieces that I have left of these. And I absolutely adore every last print on here. And part of the reason I think is because of the color. I am drawn to neutrals, and I love the black and the brown and the even the Cajun Craze. But there's a lot here. Sahara Sand. It's a great neutral color in these papers. So I've had a lot of fun with them. And I'm going to share with you a card here with using that bundle and, of course, the designer series paper as well. Now, the last part of the suite collection are these amazing rustic metallic adhesive back dots. And I love these. And it just all, of course, coordinates beautifully. Way to go, Stampin' Up! But on pages 78 and 79 in the catalog is where you will find this. One thing I really think is a cool thing that Stampin' Up! Started doing is if you want all 4 of the products on page 79, the ones that I showed you here, you can order them all with one simple order number and one simple price. And it's really a great price for stamps, dies, paper, and accessories. Love that. All right, so let's get on to business. Here is what I'm starting with. And I've got a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 Sahara Sand cardstock. So that is my card base. And then next I'm going to add a piece of 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 basic black. So we've got a bit of a border then of Sahara Sand around that. I'll just add that to the card. And then I've got 3 3/4 by 5 Very Vanilla. We're going to work with that a little bit before we add it as a layer. And then I have cut out a couple of the dies already. And I'm going to bring these back in, the actual dies themselves. But what I love about these labels is that they create a little raised border. Or they've got a cool border just by cutting those out. And then this one too, this is fun. It's got the ridges on the sides, and then it's got that indented section here right around the outside. So love those. And then of course some of the DSP, designer series paper, and this is the grilling out one, so that's the side I'm going to use. And then the stamp that I'm going to grab to stamp with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink is Holy Smokes, You're Amazing, because it goes, of course, then perfectly with that grilling side of the paper. So I'm going to stamp that just on a scrap of Very Vanilla and run that through with that die. And then by the magic of television, here we have a completed label. So we're going to set all that aside and grab our Very Vanilla piece. And I'm going to bring in the Simply Scored. The Simply Scored is great for just regular scoring of cardstock, but this is going to be a decorative finish to this piece of cardstock. So I'm going to put it right up here in the corner, and then I am going to score at every 1/2 inch just 2 times. So a 1/2 inch in from 3 3/4 is 3 1/4. So I'm just going to run my stylus across there, and then 2 3/4 will be the next one. So that way we've got, when we flip it over, this really cool design. Just some raised stripes, super easy. So I've done it here, and now I'm going to flip it and do it the same thing on the other side. So 3 1/4, 2 3/4, and then you've got those lines on both sides. Okay, now we're ready to add this right here to our card base. And it's just going to leave a teeny little border. And now the Designer Series paper cut at 1.5 by 5 will fit right in between those score lines. So we'll leave a little space above the paper and a little space below the paper between the paper and the first scored lines. And we'll just add that in like that. Kind of cool. And now for me, I'm going to use, you could use any labels or dies to layer onto the center, but I'm going to use 3 of the dies from this, and I showed you those already. And I'm going to just layer those onto the front of my card. So I'm going to use this one up and down in Sahara Sand, and then grab the black circle with the ridges, and that's going to layer next. And then using some linen thread, actually I'm going to put a little adhesive in the middle first. Then using linen thread, I'm going to go around 4 of my fingers 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll snip that off. And then I'm going to twist this to make a figure 8, and then just push it down. And I can rearrange all of these so that they're not quite so perfect. And then I will even loop this one back in, I think, and stick that down. Then we'll take our oval and add a couple of dimensionals. So once again, if you would like to join us for Stamp Together Saturday, and I'm going to be really generous here on my dimensionals, you can find me at facebook.com/StampinNut. I will have that link in the comments below every Saturday morning at 9:30 Central. All right, and we are adding that. Oops, I'm a little crooked. I'm a little crooked, which is about right. And there we go. Super cute, super simple, and it follows the same pattern we used at Stamp Together Saturday this past weekend, just with different product. So thanks for joining me. I hope to see you over on Facebook sometime. I would love to stamp with you on Saturday morning. See you then.